Hi there. I'm Gajanan Pandey from Global Partner Technical Enablement and Onboarding Team at Cisco. In this final part of three-part series dedicated to callback type supported by WebexCC, we will discuss personal callback feature. In the previous two parts, we had seen how courtesy callback and scheduled IVR callback works. I have shared link to both vidcasts in the summary section of this video. Now, the structure of this tutorial is also familiar with you. So we'll go over a quick overview of personal callback feature and know about prerequisites of it. I will share a quick demonstration of the various ways personal callback could be scheduled, and then I'll touch base on callback reporting. Now, to give you a brief overview of callback feature in general, the customer call in the contact center can be offered an option to receive a callback rather than waiting in the queue to connect to an agent. This enables the contact center to offer better quality of service and increase customer retention. The customer experience is enhanced because the customer receives a proactive call from an agent rather than having to wait to connect to the agent. Now, personal callbacks make it simple for the original agent to schedule a follow-up call with customer, assigning it to themselves or another member of their buddy team. This ensures that customers can connect with the same agent for continuity or receive specialized assistance. A personal callbacks can be scheduled by agent themselves, but also by supervisor and administrators using APIs. About the prerequisites, a, a callback entry point must be configured in the control hub. Also, the entry point must be associated with the routing flow, without which scheduled callback will not trigger. Now, personal callback also is part of the scheduled callback features. So the schedule date and schedule time related prerequisites are exactly the same as explained in the previous vidcast of IVR scheduled callbacks. So scheduled date must be provided in ISO 8601 format, and it must be a valid date in the specified time zone. Also, the scheduled date should fall within 31 days from the current date. Scheduled time also must be specified in ISO 8601 format. And again, the start time must be at least 30 minutes ahead of current time. The end time must be at least 30 minutes after the start time and cannot exceed 8 hours after the start time. Scheduled time zone must be a valid IANA time zone. And callbacks can be scheduled from all contact types except the campaign calls. The supported callback types include all inbound and outbound calls, as well as digital contacts such as chats or emails. Now let's take a quick demonstration of this feature. Now let's see an example of an agent scheduling a callback while on a call with a customer. My agent here is on call with customer, and now I see this three ellipses button here, using which I get an option to schedule and manage callbacks. Clicking on that takes me to a widget which basically takes the same calling phone number. Here, an agent could choose to modify the phone number depending on what customer choice is. Well, now I have filled in all the data that is needed. So the customer name, customer number, the date, I've chosen today's date, and the callback, I have to select minimum 30 minutes away from now. So I have selected the appropriate time, start time and end time, and the time zone needs to be selected. This is as per the customer's requirement. And you can choose, or the agent can choose to assign the callback to self or any available agent or a specific agent from the buddy team. For now, I will demonstrate only for self personal callback, and then I've selected the appropriate queue and mention this. Click on schedule, and the callback is scheduled. The agent can very well verify if the callback is scheduled or not for him or her by going into the schedule tab and can see it. Now, on the same call, I can very well schedule a callback for a buddy team member by clicking on schedule and manage callbacks. Now I've filled in all the data, and now I'm trying to select a buddy agent from my team, and I can select the buddy agent from drop down and hit schedule. Well, as the callback is already in the queue, it says duplicate callback detected. To work around this, I can select a different queue, and that should let me schedule it. Okay. So a callback for buddy agent is selected, schedule. The schedule callback for the buddy agent can be seen on the buddy agent's desktop. This is the buddy agent here, and the schedule callback can be seen here. I have dropped the call. Now let me show you how I can schedule a callback uh, in a situation when I'm not in the customer call. So from the task pane, the agent can click on the plus sign here, and the similar wizard opens. Now I've fed in all the data. This time I have selected date for tomorrow and a different time, which is 10 a.m. And I'll try to schedule a callback here. And the callback is successfully scheduled. So as this was scheduled for the same agent, the agent can very well see the second call as well. This time, the date is different and the time duration is different. Now, even supervisors can create personal callback from agents using Supervisor Desktop. I won't demo that due to time constraint, but the callback scheduling steps remain exactly the same. Now, like I mentioned, admins can also schedule these callback for agents. Even supervisors and agent also could schedule this callback, not just only through the supervisor or agent desktop, but also through the APIs. In order to demo that, log in to the developer.webex.com, either with your admin credentials or supervisor or agent credentials. Go to documentation and select Webex Contact Center. On the page that opens on the left side in the API reference, uh, open the desktop option, go to Callback Schedule, and click on Schedule a Callback. Using the interface on the right side of the page, you can very well schedule a callback from here. Exact same steps can be also done or executed from Postman. So now notice that as we have logged in as admin, few fields like organization ID, bearer token, all of those are pre-filled. All right, let me explain you the fields that we have here. Give it a customer name, mention the callback number that you want to schedule the callback on. Select appropriately the time zone and the date, start time, end time, and the most important thing here are the queue ID and the assignee agent ID. Now the queue, to get the appropriate queue ID, you could go back to Control Hub, select the queue where you want to queue this callback to, and the ID can be found on the same page. And mention the callback reason. And then for assignee agent, this is important. When you go to contact center users, click on the agent that you want to assign the callback to. You would get two hexadecimal IDs here. one under contact center user ID and the next under Cisco user ID. This is the user ID you should use for assignee agent ID. If you don't use this ID, the callback will never trigger. Let's say if you use this ID by mistake, the callback will still be registered, but it will fail. And that's due to a defect. We are working on fixing that. So eventually, when you provide an incorrect Cisco user ID or CI user ID, you will get a failure prompt here, which will reject the assignee agent ID, and the callback will not be scheduled. Now, assuming you have everything right here, and if you hit run, it should schedule a callback. Now, in this case, it ran into an error which says bad request, probably because the callback in this particular queue ID is already present. So now I have taken a different queue ID, and let me try scheduling with that queue ID. Going back, trying to run now, and it's scheduled. You could click on the request body JSON, and this request body could very well be used in the Postman, and it works perfectly. Now the admin can very well see the number of callbacks scheduled for that particular agent by going to Get Scheduled Callback page. On this page, the org ID is already pre-filled. You need to select either of callback number or assignee agent to see the number of callbacks scheduled. For this one, I will go with callback number. So I have fed the callback number, and let's run the query. Now you can see in the result, there are total 4 callback records. As you can see, those include the callback scheduled from the agent desktop, for same agent, for buddy agent, from the task pane, and the API as well. You can only list those callback for which the start time has not passed. I will share the link to this documentation developer portal in the summary section of this video. Now, an agent could also schedule a callback for the request received through digital channels. For example, this agent has received an email to schedule a callback on this and this number, this and this date and time, and it mentioned, the preferred agent is agent GP. So exactly like shown before, the agent could go and schedule a callback from the task pane or from the 3 dots that are seen, and the process remains exactly the same. In interest of time, I will not schedule a callback for this scenario. Now, agent do have option to edit the callbacks or delete them. For example, if the customer calls back and tells that, okay, the callback is not needed anymore, which is scheduled for tomorrow, the agent can very well go ahead and click on delete button on this and hit delete. The callback is successfully deleted. Now, assuming that this callback scheduled at 8:07 p.m. for today's date needs to be modified, agent can very well go edit that and do the necessary modification. It could be related to the number, it could be related to the date and time, or if the customer wanted to schedule it to some other agent, any of such changes could be done from this interface here. Within the multiple callbacks scheduled for an agent has an ability to sort depending on the the recently scheduled time, if it was to be recently assigned, or agent could choose between customer names as a sorting mechanism. So the system assigns default priority to scheduled or personal callbacks unless the flow configures a different priority using a set contact priority node. Now, this is the routing flow configured for the callback entry point. Uh, Admin needs to modify the flow if a priority management is needed. This flow could be as simple as having two nodes, one as the new phone contact and directly disconnect the call. But if you want to change the priority, then you will have to add a set contact priority node and then take it from there. Now it's about the time for the scheduled callback. Let me set the agent available and the callback should trigger. Well, that was the personal callback in action. Uh, So the personal callback could be scheduled using any one of admin's, supervisors, or agent's bearer token. So if you want to capture the bearer token to be used in Postman, what you can do is go to the agent desktop, change the status of the agent, and in the network log, click on the state event, the second state event, scroll down, you will find the bearer token here. You could copy this token completely and use it in your Postman request. Alternatively, you could log into the developer portal using either admin, supervisor, or agent credentials, and it will take the bearer token automatically. Now let's take a quick look at the callback report. It's the same stock report of callback. And if you look at it, uh, these are the callbacks that I've made over the days, last few days, and I have scheduled it for this month. Now pay attention to the type of the callbacks. You can see the various types of callback that I have made over the days. Uh, like courtesy callbacks, scheduled IVR callback, or scheduled personal callbacks. Now, courtesy callback, the source of callback type is all IVR in the smaller letters. The scheduled IVR callback has a capital IVR as a source to callback. But again, on the scheduled personal, you could see it's the API call or the live call. The calls that agents schedule over a live call, the source of callback will be marked as live call. But if an agent schedules the callback using a task pane, the plus button, the source of callback for that will be API. Also, those calls which were scheduled using the Postman or developer portal, those also are marked as API. You can see the statistics like callback request time, when it was requested, when it was connected, who was the agent, and then what was the status. If the agent was, the callback was not connected for whatsoever reason, obviously it will mention as failure, and the rest of the data like agent, etc., will not be available. Now, that was a quick description about the various callback types that are covered in the callback report. That concludes my demonstration of scheduled personal callbacks. If you need any configuration or troubleshooting assistance for first-time configuration of this feature, please reach out to Partner Helpdesk using channel of your choice. With that, I hope this tutorial was good use of your time. Please score and comment this video and let us know if there is any other topic that you would like us to cover in the next ones. Thanks for watching.